And welcome back to another episode of Guitar Magazine 30 years ago. My brother unearthed these in his attic, and I thought it would be funny because these defined me as a player. Not as a player, but as a guitar player. Everything I knew about the guitar world, I learned from the German magazine Guitar and Bass. There's Red Beach on the back with this amazing Ibanez, which they had in Koa. Jamie Humphries has one. I'm jealous. He said right there, that one. So let's get right into it. This is the issue from October 91. So this is definitely over 30 years ago. I love guitar and bass because it was jazz, flamenco, acoustic, bass, metal. It was all about the instruments and the people who play them, and never about a style. You like Guitarist or Guitar Magazine, it's always like, the rock guys on the front. And that was never about, it was always about the instrument. I loved that about the magazine. So what do we have in here? 48 semi-acoustic guitars in one, okay? Gibson Thin Line, fuck those guys. Frank Gambale, he can play. Bryan Adams, Everything I Do It For You, top 10 hit. That was the hit back then. So, we'll go into it. That's probably a Gibson. Oh, PRS full page ad. They spent money on this because it's the inside flappity-doodah of the magazine. And back then they had the Custom 24. Straight, forward, and simple. But does it. And here's Dieter Rösberg again. A little bit of an talking about acoustic guitars and talking about Tesla and the One Night Acoustical Jam album. Great album. The Fireball Green Audio, I don't even remember this. Frank Gambale, I had that guitar in orange and sold it. Les Pauls from Kalamazoo, Heritage H157. What's with the 57? Oh, are they the Heritage Customs? I don't think they have those nowadays. Loden Acoustic. Cockerbecker Pretender. That's a German guitar that I've never heard that brand. Must have gone under. Let's get into it. What do we have here? Chevy. That's a Chevy guitar. Back then, a cheap guitar, a really cheap guitar, and crap, was still 700. Which means, actually nowadays it will probably be 500 to 700 euro, realistically. And they were not great. You could get them in many places. Again, the same ad we had last time. Engel Power Amp. Here we got letters to the editor. Uli's Music. What does Uli's Music have in October 91? Music Man Eddie Van Halen signature with a really cool top. Mesa Boogie. Basis, Kramer Pacer Custom. Holy crap. Semi-acoustic from many companies. Mike Matthews, Soul Kiss, Talkbox, Wawa. Wow. Yamaha something. Secondhand. Albums. Magnum, The Spirit. Good album. And Richie Sambora, Stranger in This Town. I talked about that in the last video. Alice Cooper, Hey Stupid. That's a cool album with a lot of high-end guitar players. Eric Gale's band. Yeah, no Taylor Swift there. The Rat. What a shitty ad. Doro. Wow, ZZ Top. So here's who was on tour. Eric Gale's Slayer. Extreme, Marillion. Scorpions, Dire Straits, Roxette. When there was alive, one of them. Wow. First Thin Lines from Gibson. Washburn, don't know who that guy is. Blues News. But what is this? Johnny Winter. Just generally about blues. Oh, the good Kawaii Session Trainer. We already talked about that. Roadstar Music Shop. I mean, those were shitty ads. The books that we all learned with No Money, No ADA. Of course, you have to have a motorbike, motor bicycle. I don't even know what they're called. Wow. If you're rock and roll, ADA, those were like digitally controlled tube amps with vertical 212s. Eric Johnson. Oh, it's more of a lesson with Eric Johnson. Cool, cool. I think I have an Eric Johnson book somewhere. Tesla. One Night Acoustical something. Love Tesla. There was an amazing album, but of course all their stuff is pretty damn good. Let It Rock with Hamer. Look at this porn guy right there. I mean, wow. With a stupid guitar on a... I don't know. Apparently that's how you advertised back then. Giveaway, Taylor guitar. Noise. So, there's Speedy Gonzalez, which I think is now offensive. Talking to Frank Gambale, the man with... Yeah, that is right here. This is gold. Let me translate that. It's not enough to be a good guitar player. You gotta be punctual, need a good car, good equipment, and you gotta be fucking nice. He didn't say fucking, but you have to be nice. All the studio guys, all the people that survive in this business are more nice than brilliant musicians. They're also brilliant musicians, that's a given, but nice is very important. Hang out with Tim Pierce for 3 minutes and find out. That's why he gets the gigs. He's also an amazing guitar player, but many people are. Few people are as nice as him. Biodynamic microphone. So, semi-hollow guitars, 45 of them. Because that's how you look at guitars, just stats. That's because that's how you do it. But you know what? We did... Oh, Fender. Fender? Fender. No. Phoenix. Phoenix ad for Phoenix basses. And Phoenix isn't around anymore. Guess why? So, I just think that's... We love these magazines and read it and compared everything, but that's not how you compare guitars. You never heard a single sound from this magazine, because back then we couldn't do that. Now you've got this whole thing where people play guitar on YouTube. Academy Standard, that looks sexy. Of course, you don't hear a single sound in this video other than me yapping. Joe knows jazz. Apparently, Joe knows jazz. Tokai, Fester, Washburn. Bass combos by Laney. Laney is still around. Good job. Lakewood from Gießen, from right around the corner. High price guitars. Very bright, but nice. Marshall thinks blurry ads in black and white will sell valve state amps. I think they did. Blackfield leasing. For all the high-end stuff. Mesa Boogie, Soldano. Nobody should lease instruments and, go into debt. Fretless Washburn. Acoustic bass. Interesting. We have Bogner, The Fish. Rack preamp. Very thought after. And Lag guitar by Hot Music. Loden 012 acoustic guitar. Yamaha BB 1100S. What an ugly bass. There's Eddie doing stuff for Music Man. Oh, and these super badly designed music store professional ads. But trust me, we ate up that music store catalog that I think they still have. Really thick catalog, and we read that cover to cover. We knew every price, every feature. Tom Anderson Grand Am, we loved having one, and I would still love having one. Washburn acoustic guitar. What is this? Music City Cologne. I bought a guitar there. Ampeg, Paul Gilbert, Mr. Big, and Lee Jackson. Designed by Lee Jackson, and Apparently Paul Gilbert played an AMPETE guitar amp back in the day. Really? Cockerbeck. Thin line telly. For 4,000. Holy crap, hola. 12 string, I had the nylon 6 string of this Acousticaster, whatever they were called. Multiac, it was actually called a couple years later. Wer Augen hat zu lesen, der. I don't know what that means. Ooh, Marshall valve state. Ooh, those were horrible, but apparently used for some metal albums. Blade guitars, so let's see, valve state, positive. Quality, sound possibilities, features. Effects loop on the big one. Wow. Bad, spring reverb. But 990 and 1350, so they were more affordable than some other stuff. Everyone loved the Art multi-effects. I think I have one upstairs in a rack somewhere that I bought used and then never used. But back then we wanted these badly. And here we got Claim guitars, champagne for the ears. Don't think they're around anymore. More Claim. That's an ugly ass headstock. Headstock. Schönau, Checkpoint Music. Bought my second guitar there and then some others as well. Bought my flower pattern gem there in Gießen. More Claim guitar. PRS Artist Limited Edition. Now it looks like a very straightforward PS, but if you can see, there's no switch, which means they had the 5-position turny-roundy switch, which they abandoned because it was dumb. PV looks like bass amps. So how much was this PRS? Someone cut out a page here. Don't know why. And that means we cannot find out how much it was because someone cut out a page. ProGap, Rocktron Tube Preamp MIDI Fireball. Here's this really cool Charvel Surfcaster, which I actually think is a pretty cool design with that F-hole. Charvel. They also had a bass. They should bring that back. Oh, what we're missing here is Mesa Boogie Mark IV top. So the Mark IV was in 91? I'll tell you what I know. For 4,600. Holy shit balls. Nobody could afford Mesa back in the day. GNL ASAT bass. What is this? Cas Play Pack. Oh my god. They're playbacks. Like karaoke, sing along, play along. Oh my god, no drum machine or samplers. And you could get like Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Def Leppard. Holy, you could, and there were like one for $50. So there are 10 tracks on there, and they are karaoke tracks, and one was $50. 8 of them for $279. Holy balls. Rock with the top acts now. On cassette. I'm old. Teaching program for $89. Acoustic speaker by Glockenklang. Ibanez, all of them. Gems, Satriani, Beach, Gambali. Bart Music. Rare and Vintage City Music. And they would send you the current list of instruments if you gave them €1 or one mark to ship it to you. There was no email. Imagine this. 91. The email didn't exist. The internet didn't exist. You had to write to someone, give them a buck so that they would mail you the catalog. I'm so old. Marathon. Ibanez Sound Tank. Do you remember those effects? Ugly and plasticky, but they were $100 each. Lake Placid belt strap. $50. Strap locks, flat wounds, instrument cables. Functions of a dynamic loudspeaker. So we get into the instructional stuff. Bryan Adams played Vox. Lag guitars. And I think they're still around. Hohner bass and drum party. Tips for bands. Here, you send this in and then you can win something. In Vivo Guitar, I already said that was really the foundation of my music theory and guitar knowledge. Pentatonic patterns, we have those here. No, those are actually full C major patterns. I learned so much from Abi von Reininghaus through this thing. I must have read each one several times. And it started my musical journey. Just like Peter Fischer, Master of Rock Guitar. Who is he talking about? Probably Eddie, the inventor of modern rock guitar. Who is he talking about? Hendrix. He's talking about Hendrix. Here we have a 16-track tape recorder. That was the shit back then. If you had real money, you'd had like a 16-track tape recorder. Bass Basics. Something's cut out here again, and I wonder why. No idea why. Jazz. Reusenzen. He died last year. Bryan Adams, everything I do it for you. In D flat? Must have used a capo. Why is it in D flat? Really? That feels weird. I should check that out. Here we have the Ray or whatever videotapes again, which now kind of feel relatively inexpensive compared to the €50 cassette with backing tracks. And can you imagine that now you've got these backing tracks on YouTube, or you got someone like Tom James doing insanely good backing tracks for you to just use for free, and then YouTube pays him a bit, and then some sponsorships, and you get it all for nothing? You had to buy instructional videos, people. Richie Kotzen, Rock Chops. Wow, I don't know if you can see that, but he looks different. Heritage. I love that Heritage was around back then and still is, and still going strong and doing great stuff. Rhythm. I did these as well. And then we got Bogner Fish preamp. Got all these black and white. Tonewood. Tonewood ad. Wow. And then some private stuff. In the next one, interview Eddie Van Halen. Gitarre ST1. I know a student of mine had that one as well. Yamaha Pacifica was around back then. Why is this 40 uppy? More Mesa Boogie. They had the money for the 40 uppy. And on the very back, again, Mr. Rip Beach. Wow. Yes. Yes, folks, I am old. Period. Guitar and Bass, October 91. If you're an old fart like me, you had fun. If not, you laughed. I don't care which one it is. Go away now. And I'm at the end.